to get it. Wait, I'll do it again. So, the warm-up is a 5-minute quality AMRAP of 3 movements. We're gonna get the entire body warmed up in just 5 minutes. Our first movement will be a sit-up with straight legs forward, but we also have a scaling option if that is too hard for you. Let's have a look at Fred and Cecily, who are going to demo the straight leg sit-up. So legs are gonna be together. Ideally, we reach behind us, touch the floor, we come up and we kinda aim for the toes or somewhere close to the feet. Reach back. Go forward and reach. This is your basic straight leg sit-up. Now, let's have a look at Cecily, and let's say that you're having a very hard time coming up all the way. And then once you just lay down, keep your arms forward in this case, and just roll up your shoulder blades, boom, stay there, come back down. We call this the curl up. This is a straight leg curl up. Great for just isolating the ab muscles. Very good. Our second movement will be on the floor, but now face down. This is our classic warm-up movement for the upper back and for the shoulders. Could call it our shoulder health movement as well. We're gonna have legs together, arms spread out to the side, thumbs pointing to the ceiling, straight arms. We lift up the chest first, we hold it, lift it up, and then we're going to do races with the arm. A T-raise, a floor T-raise. Here we go. Now Fred has his legs off the floor, which is slightly harder. He does have his feet squeezed together, so he's in that Superman floor T-raise action. Cecily has her legs down and then does the T-raises, which is also just fine. Do the option that feels best for you, as long as you can maintain proper form on the T-raises. Alright, let's rest, stay on the floor, and we're gonna go to our third movement, which is just adding some mobility work in the stretching part here. We're gonna get on our knees. We wanna have our knees wider than our feet. No, knees wider than feet, feet turned in. Good so, Freddy. And arms go forward, hips go back, and we're gonna have our pinkies pointing into the floor, pressing into the floor actively, so we can stretch out the lats, which is a very nice way of warming up. And this is called the child's pose here. And we only hold this for 20 seconds during this portion of the warm-up. So you're not gonna set a timer here in this quality AMRAP, you're just gonna count in your head. You're gonna force the stretch a bit for 20 seconds before you move on to the second round. 6 straight leg sit-ups, 9 floor T-raises, a 20-second child pose. We just showed you everything. I hope you joined us and practiced the movements right away. We're now gonna start it, and I need you guys to start with us. So wait me to count you down. It's only a 5-minute quality AMRAP. Don't aim for lots of reps and sets here. Aim for doing approximately a round per minute and keeping that flow for the full 5. You got a proper warm-up in. They're ready. I know you're ready. So let's start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 6 straight leg sit-up. Reach all the way back. Move forward. Drive your hips into the floor. Try to keep your legs as long as you can. And really work from the abs here. If you can touch your toes, beautiful. If not, don't hassle, just go as close as you possibly can. I will probably just touch my knees because I can't get any further, but that's just me. Then after that, we move on to the belly. We're gonna lay down, we're gonna make that either full Superman or partially Superman. Then we're going through floor T-raises with the thumbs pointing to the ceiling, squeezing up from the shoulder, getting the shoulder blades pinched together is what I like to see happening here as well. After 9 reps, we go into a child's pose and we're gonna hold that one for 20 seconds. So knees go wider than the feet, we sit on top of the feet, we drive the hips back, the pinkies are pointing down, thumbs are pointing up, and we're actively pressing into the floor. Now, I think they're counting in their head till 20, and if not, they're approximately halfway, and Cecily is just 3 seconds behind. But I know the camera is gonna pan away in a couple of seconds anyway, so that will be good. Alright, so that was 1 round of the warm-up. It is 5 minutes in total. I need you guys to just keep going, take it easy, go nice and slow, warm up properly, continue, press pause. Alright, so our second portion of the day is just some easy mobility work. We're gonna go for slightly longer now. We're gonna have the interval timer on the smartwatch app set at 8 intervals, 45 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We'll move from left side to the right side, to the left side, to the right side for 1 round, and we'll do that twice. Since it is mobility, I want you guys to join in and join us for the first portion right away, and then you guys move along on your own speed, which is not speed, it's time-based, so forget the word speed. Fred and Cecily are gonna already go into the stretch. Wait for me to actually count you down. I'm gonna put them into it right in the beginning. So, leg across in front. Back knee is gonna be way behind the hip. We're gonna try to get our hips squared with our shoulders. And we're gonna try to either sit upright or relax on the way down. Good. I'm gonna set the timer. And Fred's gonna do the upright version and Cecily the downward version. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is very tough on the knees. You can pull in the front leg a tiny bit, as in drive your heel backwards a bit. And if it's really easy, you want to drive your foot forward a bit. But most important here is that your hips don't tilt to the side too much. You want to keep them square. Square, I mean in line with the shoulders. Upright and laying down is a slightly different sensation, but they're both good to do. 45-second stretch. We have 20 seconds left. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. So we have 20 seconds to switch. So you're going to put your right leg in front, across on the floor, knee and ankle pressed in the floor, your back knee behind the hip. Take your time to position yourself properly. If you're Cecily's way, you're slowly going to lay down. Fred's slowly going to raise himself back up, pressing through the arms, and we're back in right now. 45 seconds. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to have both knees on the floor because we're going to do a thread the needle. Both knees on the floor. You're going to have one arm pressed into the floor firmly. The other one's going to go underneath and across. Palm facing upwards. Press it into the floor. Press your shoulder down and lay on top of that shoulder. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Start. Thread the needle, great way of stretching the shoulder right before the start of an intense workout. And guys, if you after the workout feel the necessity to do more stretching, you can always just repeat the mobility routine of the middle of today's session and just add it to the end of the session to get a good finish. Now we go back to the music. Boom, boom, boom. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, 20 seconds to switch to the other side. Let's go, shake it off. Press the other arm on the floor firmly. Get the arm underneath, palm facing to the ceiling, and then drive that shoulder into the floor. Press yourself down there. Perfect. Thread the needle. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, needle. There we go. You guys are going to hold this for 45. Seconds. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Relax. So that was one round of pigeon on the left, pigeon on the right, thread the needle on the left, thread the needle on the right. Now you guys are going to do one more round on your own. Continue and press pause. For today's workout, we're going to need an elastic band. Now I'm already going to say right off the get-go that if you use the band in today's workout, technique is going to be extremely important to not get hurt. Caution, right? So let's have a look at the 3 movements that we're going to do in the session, where we also take a look at scaling options and possible injury options, that if you have an injury, you can still join us. Okay, so let's have a look. And I want you guys to try this one out right away because it is different. So we're going to do a thruster with the band. Now what is going to be very important in that front rack position here, and I'm going to point that out, is you need to have your toes and heels firmly pressed into the floor throughout the movement. Normally in a thruster you would get on top of your toes with the heels coming off, but if you do that, the band will hurt you. So let's do 3 slow reps of the thruster, guys. Squat down, come up, press overhead, come back down. Come up, press overhead. So they're squatting all the way down and they're locking out all the way overhead. But they're not doing it very fast and explosive, because if you would do that, it would slip underneath the heels and it would hit you in the butt, which you don't want to have happen here. Perfectly done. Those are the thrusters for today. Now you're going to keep your band in your hand, and we first look at Cecily for possible options if you have an injury. First injury we're going to discuss here is no pressing. No pressing in this case means I'm just going to front squat. Keep the squatting stance, squat down, come back up. The weight's going to be divided. Heel, big toe, middle toe are all going to be pressed in the floor firmly, and her goal is to get her hips down and her chest stays up as high as possible to sit down with the squat. Very good. Now, what also might happen is that she has some issues with her knees that's not going to allow her to squat that deep. Then she either decreases the range of motion a tiny bit, or she just focuses on the pressing portion of the movement. Can you show me a couple of the presses here? So you can either do this with some lag drive or without lag drive. But if you add lag drive, make sure you keep your heels planted in the floor firmly, guys. Can't say it enough. While we were practicing this before the video, the band slipped a couple of times underneath the heels and hit the demo people in the butt. And you don't want to have that happen. So our second movement is still standing on the band, but now slight knee bend. We're going to hinge. We're going to make sure our upper body is parallel to the floor, and we're going to, with 2 arms at the same time, start the rowing motion. Now Fred has a difficult variation with the band entirely on the floor and standing on 2 parts of it. Cecily has just 1 part, which is both fine. Make sure the primal mover here, guys, is the back by pulling the elbow up instead of focusing on when the band goes. Think about the band being attached to the elbow and just drive that elbow up to the ceiling. Alright, very good. Now, our last movement is without the band, and it is your classic burpee. Now, let's have a look again at the 2 styles of burpee that we can use, either a fast one or a slow one. Fred's going to do the fast one. In the meantime, Cecily will do the slower burpee. Let's go, guys. A couple of reps. So Fred is jumping back, jumping up, clapping in the air. Cecily is stepping back. She is stepping up and she's clapping in the air. And let's rest. And in the time frame that Fred did 3 reps, Cecily did 2 reps. Maybe in a 15-minute workout, you want to play around with the different variations of the burpee there are to either slow down or speed up, whatever feels best for you to do to get a good score in this workout. Now, what Cecily is going to show you are the options for injuries that we have for you guys today. Now, first one is I cannot jump with the burpee, is I'm going to walk the burpee on the way down. I'm also going to walk it up, and then I'm going to just stand and clap. Boom! That's 1 rep, this is good. Now she can also suddenly not press anymore. So now it's going to become kind of like a kickback type of motion. Hands on the floor, long arms, step or jump back, get up, and finish with a clap. Good. Those are the options that we have for you guys when an injury is telling you you should not do burpees in this one. Okay, so lastly before we start, very important for you guys, you can score this workout by going to the app and add your score so we still stay connected with the entire community. Yeah, buddy. We just showed you all the movements. It is now time to get started on the 15-minute AMRAP. You guys get off the couch and join us for this one. It was 12 thrusters with the band, 9 rows with the band, and then 6 quick burpees. Get as much proper work done in 15 minutes as you possibly can. I have my SmartWatt app ready. It's set at the 15 minutes. If you guys are ready, I'm going to count you all down. So get set up in that band. You're allowed to get your front rack going. And I will count you guys down. And we'll start at 3, 2, 1, go. 12 thrusters. Keep your heels in the floor and press it overhead. At home as well, guys. Keep your heels in the floor. Please be safe on the thrusters. We're so happy we're still able to actually do thrusters here. I think the first day you guys are back here and scared, we're only going to use a barbell and we'll do all the movements we haven't done for months, which is great. And thrusters will probably be the first one. Yes, it will. 12 reps to the thruster, nice lockout overhead. Driving force is going to be the legs. Then set up properly for the rows, where Fred is going to take the entire band underneath the feet, and Cecily will later on only take one portion of the band. Once you set up, flatten the back, pull the chest up, and let the elbows do the pulling work here. So to utilize the lat muscles as much as possible, we want to pull that elbow through a very big range of motion and not really worry about where the band goes. So elbows go back and up, that's what we aim for. 9 proper reps, then get out of the band and start 6 quick burpees. There we go. Boom. So Cecily is stepping the burpee, Fred is jumping the burpee, which probably makes him pull ahead a tiny bit. It's a 15-minute AMRAP, whatever feels good for you, thing you want to do. There we go. Sun is shining here in beautiful Utrecht. So Fred just finished his first round. Cecily is finishing up on her first round. It took about 1.5 minutes to get through this. That makes it possible to get to 10 rounds. I think they're going to slow down a slightly bit, but that is all good. I need you guys to go along for the full 15 minutes, so continue and press pause.